Hi, I'm Anu Grover and welcome to the brand new episode and series of Plant Care. And today I'll be talking about one of my favorite plants, which is a ZZ plant. And you must have heard of it as a Zameuculcas or a ZZ plant. This is, I think, one of the most common plants and one of the best, hardest plants which indoors survive. And if you look at across the world, a lot of people want to have them because of its low maintenance. And today we'll talk about its care and those 4 things you should look around when you are taking care or when you have purchased this from any of your garden centers. The first point to look at is the water. Now this is one of the most common things which we have and one of the most common problems every plant can talk about. पानी कितना देना है? ज़्यादा पानी दे दिया, पानी नहीं दिया बहुत टाइम तक. And मेरा plant मर गया. So we get across a lot of these questions where plant has died because of underwatering or overwatering. And that's why these 2 aspects are important in the watering. One is how much and second is how often. तो how much का मतलब होता है कि हमें कितना पानी डालना चाहिए. And you should look at watering it from the perspective कि आपके नीचे से पानी निकलना चाहिए. So whenever you water or give watering, give a good healthy watering. And how you get to know is about when your base gets the watering out. You know, जब वो trickle out हो रहा होगा तो इसका मतलब उसमें आपने आपके अच्छा पानी दिया है. Why this is needed is because to be sure that your roots all across get the right amount of water. So this is about how much around it. How often when you talk about, now that's a very critical and a very subjective point because गर्मियों में आपको ये change करना पड़ेगा watering method और सर्दियों में ये अलग होगा. बैंगलोर में ये अलग होगा और नोएडा में ये अलग होगा. And this how often you should do is a reminder from the eye test which we do or a spoon test. So here I have a soil which is light brown coco peat. This is the media, and here I have a media which has a lot of water. Now when I dip it, you know, it gets the water trickling down. So I have to make sure that whenever you have watered it, you will see that your media or your soil has become like this. Don't water it unless it turns light brown, right? But not too light brown that it becomes too dry. So this is too dry. You have to make sure that it's in between. This is too dry a media. So ideally in summers, for that matter, you know, for a ZZ you have to water it for twice or thrice also at times, and if it's kept where the evaporation is very high, then even 4 times also. Now this is something again subjective, and how often you should do it is by taking care of a spoon test or a screen test or an eye test where you see that it turns to light brown and you water it again. Plants like drying down also, but they don't want long phases of drying. At the same time, they don't want a lot of watering being cluttered here. And especially with ZZ, it's very important that you don't have water being cluttered here because they have bulbs inside, you know, along with the roots. And they sort of swell and take in the water and burst if there is too much of watering around. So that's the first thing which you have to take care about. The second you have to look about is the plant food. As I always say, it's very important to make sure that your plant food is there. A lot of times when we buy it from a local nurseries, we don't take care of the plant food. हम बस पानी plant खरीदते हैं और उसमें पानी देते रहते हैं. You know, and थोड़े दिनों बाद plants हमारे मर जाते हैं. And if that's a common thing, it's why? Because your plant food is missing. Right, so in all nurturing green plants, it already have these slow releasers, जो आपको हर 6 से 8 महीने में डालना होता है. So a slow releaser is a plant food which is made out of multiple layers and have food inside. So whenever you water it, and this is what it is basically. So this is basically Basacot, and we use different types of slow releasers. We use nurturing green also. You can buy slow releasers, or you can buy Nutricoat also or Basacot also. We use both Basacot as well as nurturing green slow releasers. In this, what happens is this is made out of multiple layers, and every time you water it, one layer sort of gets depleted and there is food inside it. Now it comprises of all the minerals and food which it requires. So plant requires nitrogen, potash, a lot of micronutrients, and that all nutrients are available in this basically. So when you're looking at plant food, I suggest don't do anything, no liquid fertilizers, nothing. I think the best format is just put 2 to 3 teaspoon on this every 6 to 8 months. and you will know when to do it, because they will start going smaller and smaller and will dissolve eventually, and when they dissolve you have to re-put it. That's it. So that's the second care which you have to look at from the plant food perspective. If you will not do it, you will realize that the plant will not get nutrition and will not thrive as it is thriving right now. A third very important aspect which we have to look at is the placement. Now when I look at placement, it brings two aspects to it. So with the placement, a temperature is defined, and so is the light levels, which we call in a technical definition the lux. So जब भी आप प्लेसमेंट कर रहे हैं, मेक श्योर दैट ZZ शुड गेट इनटू अ विंडो सिल लाइटली. इट शुड गेट इट थ्राइव्स एनीथिंग फ्रॉम 1000 to 2000 lux levels. In a low light is also survives, but don't bring it to a 200 or 300 lux. ये आपको कहाँ होगा? आपके वॉशरूम्स में होगा या आपके बहुत डार्क एरियाज में होगा. जहाँ पे मैं अभी खड़ा हूँ, यहाँ पे लक्स एक्चुअली कई बार 4-5 हज़ार भी होगा, और आइडली 1500 से 2000 आपके विंडो सेल्स में आ जाता है. इनडायरेक्ट ब्राइट लाइट इज समथिंग विच दिस प्लांट्स रिक्वायर, बट ये बहुत हार्डी प्लांट है. अगर आप इसमें लाइट कम कर देंगे तो व्हाट विल हैपन इज द लीफ विल टर्न लाइट ग्रीन एंड इंटरनोड्स आपके बढ़ते जाएंगे. तो क्या होगा इसमें, ये आपके जो पत्तियां हैं दे आर कमिंग वेरी क्लोज टू ईच अदर बिकॉज दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग लॉट ऑफ फूड एंड देयर इज गुड लाइट. इफ यू डोंट गिव द लाइट ऑप्टिमम, दिस विल गो अप वेरी क्विकली, and the light of the color, the color of the leaf will become light green. Not looks very nice, and that's why वो इसलिए होता है क्योंकि photosynthesis has not been prepared for the plant, and that's why we always say that it should get some light. Though it's one of the low maintenance and indoor plants basically, so it can survive in 1000 lux, and we have been growing it in that. So you also can put it in that. So that's the third. In terms of the temperature, it doesn't like a lot of heat. So you will see tip burns will be a very common phenomenon, and even cool it doesn't like. So it's like a moderate temperature of again 20 to 30, 35. At 40 onwards, it's you'll start seeing the tip burns happening in. Though it likes heat more than it does like the cold. So the weathers where it's more hotter, it survives and thrives well comparatively to a cooler weathers. So that's for the temperature, and that's the third part. The fourth important aspect you should look at is the soil or the media, which we commonly know as. When you are putting it indoors, you have to be very crucial and cautious about that. What sort of a soil or a media you are using. Don't use soil, because at times from different regions they have different sets of capabilities. For example, a soil will not be porous around, or there might be sticky soil. For example, the mid or the south India has a lot of clay soil. So what happens is that it sticks to each other, and the nutrients doesn't go in the right way to the roots. Plus they don't get oxygen also. So having a mix like this is the best mix, where you use coco peat, you use coco chips, you use perlite, and you use the slow releasers to make sure that it's porous, as well as the food has also been provided to the plant. So that's the fourth aspect of it, which is about the soil. And if you're able to make all of these, your plant, especially ZZ, will survive and grow very nicely. In terms of if there is a bug, or you're seeing that this is ये गल के गिर रहा है, it means there is overwatering and there is fungal below. You have to remove them and repot it. And for those, you can look at our videos in My Plant My Baby and Anu Ke Nuskes page, where we talk about the repotting, and we have talked about how we can remove the fungal activity by using fungicides across. So you will not require any of it if you are taking care of these first 4 points, and the plant will keep thriving, especially the ZZ, for a long time. And thank you so much for watching this episode. If you like it, or if you want to know more about us, just go to the My Plant My Baby YouTube channel, or updates on the Instagram page with the name of Nurturing Green. And we will love to hear back from you on any of the things around ZZ. Feel free to talk about to me or to our team. I would love to reply about it. Thank you for watching My Plant My Baby. See you. Bye bye.
Do subscribe to our channel, My Plant My Baby, on YouTube.